Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fortress Comic News, episode 380. A meaty episode this week. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside my co-host here, Mike. What's going on, Mike? It's been like 2 weeks.
I know, it's been 2 weeks. San Diego Comic-Con is this week, and Deadpool and Wolverine, so we got to talk about all this shit. So we're going to be spoiling Deadpool and Wolverine this episode this week.
Are we going full spoilers on it?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
What else are we going to talk about?
Okay.
Besides all the other stuff.
I know, we got nothing else to talk about this week,
I'll probably save my books that I read for next week, everybody, because I read a lot of books this week somehow. And
I am as well, because I'm just realizing I didn't bring them into the office, but I'll talk about a few.
Yeah, I'll talk about a couple.
Yeah.
Alex and Catherine are on the show today from Wayward Raven. We're talking about Napoleon Starship. Love the Wayward Raven team. This is it's a book that's up on Kickstarter. We've been big supporters of them for a long time. Catherine Blakeney, there it is, and Alex. I can never pronounce his last name. He hates me for this. Sapunzis. I don't know. We'll ask him on the show later. I think he's trying to pronounce it for us a bunch of times, but they're good friends of the show. They've been on a few times. We're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Yes, indeed. Looking forward to catching up with Alex. Catherine, I don't think we've had on before.
No, I've never had Catherine on before, so looking forward to seeing her. Okay. A lot of news has been dropping. It is now Sunday, so hopefully all the big news is stopped. We hope for the weekend.
If not, we'll catch up next week.
If not, but we're just going to jump right into it. Unless you got some management announcements or something.
Well, I mean, it's not in the show notes, but I would love to just do a quick little shout out to San Diego Comic-Con. Marvel Legends is making a ROM figure. Fuck yeah. I am all about that.
You're one step closer to having your own TV show and movie universe.
Just settle for a comic, man. Like, come on, just give it to me.
Just the comic. They made the action figure before the comic.
Just bring them back. I saw that and I was like so excited.
That's all
I've always wanted the original figure, but they're like $800, and I don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, you're not paying that for a ROM figure. Come on.
So to get like a Marvel Legends, like really nice, like modern figure, that's gonna be cool. It's gonna look good in the shelf right behind me. Might buy two. I don't know.
One to unbox, one to leave in the box. Nice. I support that. Okay. We're going to jump into the TV news. There's a lot of stuff we had to catch up on. But so DC Films showed off their new logo at San Diego Comic-Con, and it's a new old logo, everybody. It's like old school, if you've ever read their comics, probably through the 80s and 90s, right? This was their logo for a while.
This was from 90 to 2002, I think. DC
okay, so
logo.
It was like before the whole New 52. But yeah,
whoa! I'm way off. This was 76 to 2005.
Okay, so it was okay.
Yeah. So you were right.
These 90s, yeah. So they're new but old. So I don't know if they're trying to like bring back their old fans with this. I don't know. We'll see. But
I think this is James Gunn. Like, shout out to the fans. Like, we know what you want. Hopefully. And him just being like, listen, I'm here to say, like, I love this stuff too.
Right.
I did this stuff over at Marvel. You've seen what I've done with DC properties.
Suicide Squad. So we got that.
And Peacemaker. And
Peacemaker.
This is coming from a place of love. Like, I just think, it's a complete
wrapping
shout
up
out.
The Superman shooting and everything. So that's great.
Yeah.
Max released their first trailer for DC Films animated series Creature Commandos, which looks fantastic. You have and you can recognize immediately you have Waller and Flag talking to each other, and they said that the voice actors are going to be the live action. So you have oh my god, the amazing actress who plays Amanda Waller. I can't think of her name right now. But then you start to see like the roll call of the Suicide Squad that Flag is going to be handling, which you have like Bride of Frankenstein, you have Robot Man, which is kind of
GI robot, yeah.
GI robot, yeah. And then they have just like a slew of just weird heroes. And one thing is, I think they're gonna, you have Dr. Phosphorus, you have the Weasel, who we see died in the Suicide Squad movie, right? So,
didn't he not die? Didn't he like
come back
he
survived at the end? Yeah. So maybe.
Yeah.
So this could be in between like Suicide Squad or after or before. I don't know. Do we know when it takes place?
From watching it, because I think when they originally announced it was going to be like a prequel.
Yeah.
And now I'm like sitting back watching this, and I'm thinking, this is not a prequel. This is after the events of Suicide Squad. Because if I remember correctly, they talk about the events of the Suicide Squad, where like Amanda Waller can no longer have a Suicide Squad, and her like way around that is to, well, these aren't humans, these are monsters or
right.
creatures.
Oh, that's yeah. So the creature stuff, yeah.
So this is definitely in the timeline. Like, it looks really cool. I like the humor in it. Bringing in like characters like Frankenstein, and the Bride of Frankenstein is really great. I mean, so far this is all we have on the DC Cinematic Universe.
That's it. That's all we've been shown, but
and not bad. I'll say it's a good start.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this. Yeah, it looks cool.
I was hoping for some test footage of Superman, but maybe today they'll drop it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's funny because there's a bunch of footage from Marvel, but it hasn't like leaked yet, or at least it hasn't leaked to like more public servers yet, to where I was like able to find it, because I'm not a dark webber like yourself. So
yeah, I don't scour the webs for leaks at every corner. Yeah.
But maybe there was. I didn't look too far into the DC.
No, I haven't seen anything. But yeah, more stuff. We got Dark Horse Comics series Minor Threats is set to join Netflix with a series adaptation. The writers for the series, as for the comics, you have Patton Oswalt and Jordan Bloom, are set to be showrunners in the series. Artist Scott Hepburn is joining as an executive producer with Dark Horse Comics executives Mike Richardson and Keith Goldberg to produce. I'm guessing it's animated, I would think.
Maybe it's live action. I don't
know. It could be. Yeah. Wow. That's cool. I know this is a really popular property. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm a huge fan of it. So good for Patton Oswalt to get this.
Yeah, I know you were a big fan of it. I enjoyed the original series. I have not dug any deeper of anything. So I'm
rereading the original before I read all the other stuff.
Yeah, but good on them. And that's a pretty good team up there, Dark Horse and Netflix. Been rewatching Umbrella Academy, and boy howdy, that's a good show.
Yep. Yeah, it is.
It's in good hands.
Damn good one. Amazon Prime announced a new spin-off series for The Boys. This new series is called The Boys Vought Rising, and it'll be set in 1950, starring Stormfront and Soldier Boy. It's funny to me that like the showrunners and stuff like are memes of themselves, what they make fun of on The Boys show. You know what I mean? Where they're like poking fun at Disney and all the like movie executives, and then they're like literally doing what the show makes fun of. It's going to feature Stormfront, Soldier Boy, so Jensen Ackles. I mean, those are two interesting characters. I'm in to watch it. I'm guessing they just have to go this route because the other show, the prequel or the super the super university thing, kind of went up to the wayside.
Maybe. I mean, who knows what another Gen V.
Yeah.
I don't think they've officially said whether or not, although I know that the one kid died in a car crash.
Yeah. But then we see, I mean, this is a good time to jump into the Boys season 4 finale. We see a new version of that hero show up in the finale. So
yeah. So I was just gonna say I'm pretty sure they said that season 5 is like 2 years out.
Okay.
So this feels like season 4.5.
Okay.
Maybe setting up things for season 5.
Yeah.
And that's probably the thought process here.
I'm pretty pumped for it because, Soldier Boy coming back, I really like that character. So getting to see more Soldier Boy and like the shit he had to do is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
We know Stormfront is a zombie, or not a zombie, a Nazi. So You can't be really rooting for that character. So we'll see how they treat the characters, but I'm not going to say no to more Soldier Boy because I thought Jensen Ackles did a really good job.
Yeah, I'm down for this 100%. And like I said, it feels like 4.5 also because I guess we can, like you said, we can jump right into season 4 finale. Soldier Boy pops up at the end. Like, he's still around. So maybe this is kind of like setting up some events of what his story arc will be to conclude the boys.
Which would be interesting because like everybody thought Maeve would be coming back. And if we saw Soldier Boy back, then we might see her return.
Maybe. I mean, I think if she comes back, it'll be as part of the boys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, she's got to come back for the final season. Like
they got to let her like be the one to kill Homelander. Like that would be her arc, or at least gets to kill Firecracker or whatever her name is.
She gets to kill somebody. I still feel like at the end of the day, Butcher has to kill Homelander.
Yeah,
but
if he lives.
But yeah, this episode was good. I thought Hentai Butcher was a little weird.
Yeah, the tentacle butcher. Yeah,
they definitely saw it like we're leading up to that. We've talked about it a few times. Where like that's definitely what's happening inside of his body.
Yeah, that was weird.
The whole thing with the kid was a strange scene. I just think at the end of the day, like we had this good lead up and some good moments.
Yeah,
and then it kind of went down at the end when it was like we have to disband the boys, yet they're all just gonna get captured.
Yeah, and they all get captured by whatever.
And I felt like that was a kind of a cop out for an ending.
Yeah.
But other than that, I enjoyed the episode.
To me, like I feel like we could have went a few more episodes and they could have wrapped up the entire show. But it's like where they leave, they get back together, we have this healing moment, Butcher turns bad, and then it's like, okay. That Butcher turning bad again almost felt really forced because it's like we've already seen him go back and forth being a piece of shit and redeeming himself being a piece of shit, like and to have that happen one more time, you know what I mean?
And you think about it in your real life, like somebody fucks you and then they redeem themselves. It's like, okay, like I believe in second chances, redemptions, all that shit.
This is like a fourth chance.
They do it again. It's like, I'm sorry, dude, but you're out. Like, I can forgive you. We can go on, but like you're out of the inner circle at this point.
Yeah.
Like I don't trust that you've done all this. So to like have Butcher's character be that he just keeps doing this over and over again is like, okay. And I thought it was strange that like his whole he's bad arc is like Negan just takes over his body and then like goes all hentai on everybody.
Yeah, it was weird. That's like it seems like it's not even him in his own mind.
Yeah, so how they conclude that's gonna be weird, but
I love the side story of the like manager of Vought running scared and like stabbing herself with the virus, with the Gen V, with V. That was awesome.
So she's 100% gonna be the Hulk, right?
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, I hope.
That's they literally. That scene, like her wig falling off and like her kind of like hunched over, I'm like, this is 100% like
I hope. Hulk. And then she just destroys the whole building at the start of the next season.
That would be so awesome, dude.
Just like rips through the whole building. That would be amazing.
Yeah, and then like Homelander's just like has a kill list.
Yeah. That's getting crazy.
There's so many great moments. Like it's a great season altogether. I just think that ending fell a little flat, but we'll see. It also depends how they start the next season. Like if the next season redeems this ending, then we'll forget about it in the long term. But for now, I'm like, fuck, if we're 2 years out from like figuring out what happens here, I'm gonna be really pissed.
I know it sucks, but I guess we gotta wait and see.
As long as it's good.
Yeah. So Star Wars Acolyte season 1 finale, Chris. It's all over now, man.
Let's see how the pain is over, or at least we think.
Yeah.
Let me pull up my notes for this real quick. Okay.
Oh, okay. He wrote some stuff down.
So you don't need to watch the show, everybody. Like, unless you're an Uber fan like me, you don't need to watch the show. It's not good. It's just not good. It's not well written.
Oh no.
The characters, you don't care about them. there's moments where like there's flashes and something cool could come of this. That being said, Mike, if there's a season 2, I'm watching it. This episode had the best lightsaber fight of the series. Like we get the main Jedi and the Sith from fucking The Good Place. And a really great lightsaber battle.
That's cool.
So that was cool. Essentially at the end, like it's not really concluded in any way, but they do have 2 pretty awesome cameos that are going to tie into like the Skywalker saga. Are going to tie this into the Skywalker saga, because we can't just leave the Skywalker saga alone.
Right.
So Yoda shows up.
Oh shit.
So at the end, they one of the masters like reveals what happens, kind of does a cover up, and then says like, I need to go to one of the masters to talk to him. There's this whole scene that's way overdone. She opens the door and you just see behind Yoda's head. So that's cool. Yoda's involved.
Yeah.
Which we knew, like he's been in the High Republic stuff. So he's been around.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like the real Sith behind the Sith is Darth Plagueis.
Oh, okay.
So it seems like the show, if it continues on, is going to be about the rise of Plagueis and like how he ties into things, which that's why I say it ties in Skywalker saga, everybody, because that's who trains Emperor Palpatine down the line and so on. Like he's the one that conquers death and all that stuff. At least in the old.
Do you think you'll get the whole speech, the tale from him or something?
I'll be interested if and that's why I'm like, if there's a season 2, I'm there, because it's Darth Plagueis, man. Like
Chris is like, oh man,
there's no way I mean, I don't want to say that, but they can't ruin him. I mean, can they? Can they, Mike?
No comment, Chris.
So yeah, like if you're a big fan and those things interest you, check it out. But I think this is an easy skip, at least for now, until we get more of the show and it can kind of redeem itself in some way. But overall, lightsaber whips, I'm not a fan of. Bad acting, I'm not a fan of. I can go watch episode 2 for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and just characters that just end up being nothing. Like you just didn't care about any of them. Like one of the major characters dies at the end, and you're just like, okay. It's not like at the end of Game of Thrones season 1 where I was like visibly mad because I'm like, what is this?
Right.
Like, why is he dead? I really liked him.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Again, it will not be on my top 10 at the end of the year.
Understood. Exciting movie news. So we're gonna talk about this movie news we got, and then we're gonna talk about Deadpool Wolverine. So you might want to skip 15 minutes ahead or so if you don't want to hear Deadpool Wolverine talk.
I'll try to put something in the show notes that says when we talk about Deadpool Wolverine.
Okay.
So I don't know. Check
Chris
there.
Chris is nice like that.
I'll make more work for myself. Why not?
Marvel Studios announced that Fantastic Four will be subtitled First Steps. So you can bet there's going to be an origin in there, Chris. And that we can expect to see Fantastic Four in Avengers 5 and 6. So we're getting an Avengers 5 and 6, and we're getting a Fantastic Four movie. So those are some pretty big chunks of knowledge right there. They could call it Fantastic Four. I don't know. Like, we love furries, and I'll go see it.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing against furries, not to yuck anybody's yum, but I would never watch anything.
I mean, I will. It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. It's a little weird.
No, whatever you do in your house is fine. Just
yeah.
Okay.
Go
first steps.
On your own rug. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I got real animals in the house. That's enough.
Yeah.
First Steps is a stupid name.
It is. It is really dumb. I don't know. It's like first step to reignite the Marvel universe. Is that what they're saying? I don't know.
I think it's just like, I don't know. First Steps. It's the origin story. Just call it Fantastic Four. Like, you didn't need this.
Yeah, and I think seeing them in the Avengers is exciting to me. So I like to see how they're going to be treated in the Avengers movies.
It is, but like that was one of those things. Like, you didn't need to tell me that.
Yeah,
that right. I knew that was happening.
Yeah,
like, it's Avengers 5 and 6. Of course,
you guys never had to explain that stuff before. You could just like those were the moments in the movies where like nobody's going to see the Avengers movie because the Fantastic Four is going to be in it. Like Fantastic Four fans and Avengers fans are going to go see the Avengers movie no matter what. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like it's I get they're at San Diego Comic-Con, so like they're trying to build hype within the hardcore base, like us, blah blah blah. But even us,
I get it. Yeah,
I feel like we knew.
Yeah, it's kind of like you kind of know that's happening.
Like I know I know Avengers 5 and 6. Like She-Hulk's going to show up again.
Yeah,
you don't need to tell me. I know what's happening.
Yeah,
you've already set the stage of what this is.
Right. But alongside that announcement, last night, this came out of nowhere, and I'm still, to me, this is like this is the best announcement Marvel's ever made, or it could be the worst announcement Marvel's ever made.
We'll get into it, but this is the most yin and yang thing I've ever felt.
Yeah, it could go 50-50 either way. So we originally had the Avengers Kang Dynasty was going to be happening. Now it's being retitled Avengers Doomsday, which fuck yeah, huge fan of Doctor Doom. So we're great. We're good with that. Yeah.
Doomsday is not like a Marvel thing.
Yeah, it's a DC thing.
Yes. So that right there, I'm like, Doomsday? Okay.
Yeah, Doomsday.
Okay.
It should have been Dooms-Day. Just one day.
Because now when we get the inevitable like Superman Doomsday,
people are gonna be really fucking confused.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was also revealed that in Doomsday, Doctor Doom will be the multiversal version of the character played by Robert Downey Jr. That was the big announcement. People lost their fucking minds. The internet blew up this morning. Okay, so. And the Russo brothers are back in directing, by the way. So, we talked about them being back. So we know we're in a slump for Marvel movies, I know everybody's enjoyed them and things like that. Definitely, I mean, it's not as much hype around it as the last iteration of movies and phase, I would say. So now they bring back the Russo brothers. And now we're bringing back Robert Downey Jr. as a completely different character. And a villain. So there's two ways they could explain it, right? Are they just gonna not? So they could just not acknowledge that he looks like Tony Stark, or it's gonna, like you said, multiversal. It's gonna be like a variant, a time variant.
We're gonna talk about it later, but it has now been established that they will have to acknowledge that it's Robert Downey Jr. or Tony Stark.
Yeah. Right.
So we'll get more into that later, but it's now been established, so they have to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is definitely. I mean, we got What If season 3 coming out.
Yeah.
So 100% we're getting that story. And What If season 3?
Chris, he made like $50 million, I think, at his last in his Endgame appearance. So there's no way Robert Downey Jr. is coming back for less than that, right? What are they paying this guy for this movie? The movie budget is already over $1 billion. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, Marvel. Like, there's so
Here's my yin and yang here, because I've said from forever, every character is recastable.
Yeah,
right down to Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man.
Oh yeah,
I know people disagree with me, but that's how I've always felt. So I felt from day one when this whole thing with I forget the actor now, Jonathan Majors went down.
Yeah.
That Kang was just recastable.
Yeah.
And that's what needed to happen. They have decided to do hey, forget all that shit we've been setting up for years now.
Yeah.
Here's Doctor Doom.
Uh-huh.
So that's where the yin and yang comes from. Like, I wanted Kang. You set up Kang. And you tried to put shiny thing in front of me. Like, look at Dr. Doom, everybody.
Yeah. Oh, holding up Dr. Doom.
And I like Dr. Doom, so, like, cool.
Yeah.
And then, like, the other part of that is, this isn't actually Dr. Doom, everybody. This is a different version of Dr. Doom from another multiverse. And oh, by the way, to make you forget about Jonathan Majors, here's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. We're spending $100 million to have you forget about Jonathan Majors.
Yeah. That being said, I was just excited as everybody else when this was announced. But
yeah, when it was announced, it was exciting, and then I was like, wait a second.
I'll be interested to see how they set it up. It's obviously a Tony Stark variant that turned into Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
I'm sure this will be in What If Season 3 or one of the movies, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, I would love to see the contract he signed. Is it a one movie deal? Is he going to be in a couple movies?
Is he writing his own checks?
Yeah, is he now like Kevin Feige's boss? Like, what's going on here?
Does he just own Marvel now?
It's a cool announcement. I was a big Kang fan.
Yeah.
And I wanted Kang. And now I'm like, I've watched these shows that set up things that we can still play with a little bit.
Yeah.
But the big bad behind it all, you haven't acknowledged what happened to him.
Yeah. Right.
So I'll be interested to see if they ever do. To be fair, everybody, they still haven't acknowledged the giant the giant celestial coming out of the earth from the Eternals movie.
Oh yeah, so, interesting.
It's not outside the ballpark of Marvel to just say we'll sweep that under the rug and pretend like
we'll
happened.
forget about that. Yep.
Yeah, I'm in. I was talking to a friend. I don't think there's any character outside of one that they could do a movie about that's going to get me out of the MCU. Right. And that is unless they become so bad that they're just unwatchable.
Yeah.
Like if we start getting to Star Wars Episode 2 vibes with the MCU, then I'm out.
Yeah. Then it's like, what are we even doing here?
And the only character I just wouldn't watch if they were like, we got a new movie, it's Gwenpool. I'd be like, listen, it's done.
Over.
I will skip this one. I don't care if it's the most important MCU movie ever.
Deadpool. Oh man. All right. Well, that's a nice segue into this next section where we're going to spoil the crap out of Deadpool and Wolverine. We're going to talk about it right here.
Remember if you want to skip ahead, I'll have the timestamps in the show notes.
Yep. Nice. Okay, Deadpool Wolverine. I really liked it straight out of the gate. Why did I really like it, Chris? Because fucking Wesley Snipes came back as Blade. What the fuck? I lost my shit in the theater, and the theater also lost their shit when Wesley Snipes. So we'll talk about the movie in a minute, but that reveal, I could not have put those people in a room and guessed that we would see any of those actors returning as their counter. Maybe Gambit,
knew about Elektra and Gambit.
Okay, yeah, but the Wesley Snipes Blade was like insane.
That was a surprise to me.
Yeah,
and a good. And also, I was watching it, going, "Is that really Wesley Snipes?"
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's definitely not as jacked as he used to be. He's older now. He's like 60.
I get he's older, yeah, but like even his face looks different. Like, and then they show the tattoos behind his neck, and I'm like, that's definitely the Blade they're going for. Yeah. And I looked it up. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Wesley Snipes,
dude. Did you know? I looked this up because, fun fact, Ryan Reynolds was in Blade Trinity, everybody.
Yes.
The third Blade movie. Blade Trinity came out in 2004. That was 20 years ago, folks. 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That's insane.
The original, I won't get into it, but you should look up the original idea for Blade Trinity and what the movie was supposed to be. So much better than what we got.
Yeah. There's only 2 Blade movies in my. This is the first and second one.
But yes, Ryan Reynolds is in Blade Trinity.
Yeah, he is. I knew that, he's got a terrible goatee. Okay, so things I liked, Chris. I mean, things I didn't like. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot. Like I mean, there wasn't shit where I was like, I wish they didn't do that. It was a lot of fun. Well, I loved Wolverine's costume. We got the cowl at the end. I loved a lot of the fight scenes using his adamantium skull to fight everybody off in the beginning of the movie is amazing. The fights with Wolverine are amazing. There was like a good mixture of humor, but also like feeling fucking awful for Wolverine. Bring back the old X-Men, and especially with the actors. You had the Sabretooth fight where he just cuts his head off. That was like my biggest gripe about when he fought Sabretooth in the past. Was like, dude, Sabretooth doesn't have adamantium. He just and they just cut his head off, and I was like, perfect. Seeing Toad again, a bunch of the when they see Juggernaut, they're like, oh, this is the third or fourth time we've casted this guy. I thought Ruth from Ozarks was really good as the villain, as Xavier's twin. I thought that was cool. And then all the cameos were a lot of fun. And then like I didn't expect the end to be like a love letter to the Fox universe. With like the old blooper reels, it was kind of like nostalgic to see like the old school X-Men actors and in the original movies and stuff. Overall though, I think like an 8 out of 10 for me, just for how fun I had. A lot of good fucking jokes. I was laughing my ass. A lot of poking fun at Marvel and Fox, and dick jokes and drug jokes, and being like, I don't know if Marvel or Disney could approve that. Oh, I'm sorry. The Chris Evans Fantastic Four reveal was amazing. When he's like, flame on, he's like, he's gonna say it. He's gonna say the thing, and he's like, flame on. I was like, oh fuck. That was great.
So that's the moment I was talking about. Like they made you think it was Captain America.
Yep.
We all knew it was gonna be Fantastic Four, but they made you think it. They made Deadpool recognize that that's Captain America.
Yeah.
And then he becomes.
And that's what we'll do. Oh, did not expect to see Henry Cavill showing up. That was hilarious. When he goes to find all the Wolverines, that scene was a lot of fun. And he's like, is this cavalry? And he like knocks him away. That was awesome. Comic accurate height Wolverine was pretty.
That was, especially the fact that it was still Hugh Jackson doing it.
Hugh Jackman doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want, bub? That was so good. Yeah, I think overall it was a lot of fun. And even they even recognize like, oh, the Marvel phase is in a little bit of a slump right now, and so they poked fun at themselves, and they're very aware of how things are going. They mentioned Kevin Feige, I think, once or twice in the movie. I think overall it was great. And like Wolverine doesn't die in the end, so it's like, well, maybe will he come back? You never know. Depending if they do another Deadpool movie. All the Deadpools at the end were funny. You had Matthew McConaughey doing the voice of the cowboy one. Nathan Fillion doing the skull pool.
Yep.
And then his wife, Ryan Reynolds' wife, was playing Lady Deadpool, Blake Lively. So I think overall it was a lot of fun. What did you think?
So,
Chris hated it. Everybody.
No, I liked it.
Oh, okay.
It's by far the best one.
Yeah.
I think the only problem with it is that we, as a community, set it up with bigger expectations than it should have had. Like we were expecting Dazzler to show up, and we were expecting this character to show up, and all this stuff was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go into it with that expectation, you will be disappointed.
Yeah.
And I had always thought, like, I'm going to get the Swifties after me. When they were talking about, like, Taylor Swift being Dazzler in it, A, I thought that's never going to happen. But B, I was like, please don't let that fucking happen, because I don't want to see her anymore.
Wow. Chris is mad. Dude, I will say it could have happened because her and Blake Lively are good friends.
I still don't think it would have ever happened. Listen, Ryan Reynolds cut his best friend out of the movie. Like,
yeah.
Because Mac from It's Always Sunny did a cameo.
Oh, he did?
And it got cut. And he even posted on Twitter, he's like, yeah, like my best friend cut me out of his movie, but here's a picture of me on set.
That's funny.
I just think all of that brings it down a little bit, because we just as a community like hyped this up way too high. That being said, like the opening sequence was great with Bye Bye Bye. Him digging up the corpse of Logan.
Yeah.
Which was, I thought it was good symbolism too, because like I don't know if you saw the director of Logan coming out and talking a bunch of shit recently.
Oh no.
Just about how like all this stuff is ruining storytelling, and I'm an artiste, and everybody please hate me.
Wow.
He's like I now just can't stand him because he said all the stupid shit.
Yeah,
and then they literally in this movie dig up the dead
grave
body of Logan and are like, hey, let's bring this out.
Yeah.
And I know it wasn't a direct because this was shot a long time ago, but it's like one of those very timely, like artistic things. I'm like, that fits.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Gambit was amazing.
Oh yeah, and the Gambit was amazing, and the fact that like, do you remember what movie he appears in as Gambit? As like, it's like he's sitting at a table somewhere.
I thought he never showed up as Gambit because he was supposed to be Gambit multiple times, including having a solo movie. And then the one time he was going to be in one of the X-Men, he got recasted.
I thought, oh, okay, maybe it was him. I thought it was him as a. I remember he was in some movie and he had a terrible accent, and that's why they did.
That might be why they did it this way.
Yeah. So maybe it wasn't Channing Tatum, but I'm pretty sure it was maybe one of the X-Men movies. He's in the after credits, or he's in like a bar sitting somewhere, and I remember him interacting with somebody, and then I remember the community being like, "Oh, this accent was terrible."
I just remember forever people were like, "He's gonna be in it. He's gonna have his own movie, all this stuff," and Channing Tatum was attached, and it just never happened.
Yeah.
But that was a great moment. I think overall, you said, you asked, will we see Deadpool and Wolverine again?
Yeah.
Yes. Avengers Secret Wars.
Yeah.
100%. Like, not only do they say in the movie, like, we might need you again. So, like, have fun on your Earth, but we might need you in the future.
Right.
But they also show a scene that I'm pretty sure we're going to see in Avengers Secret Wars, which is Thor holding Deadpool.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Remember when he's like, "Oh, you're not supposed to see this"?
You're not supposed to see that. Yeah,
that has to be happening. And
and
also like it was a very like obvious like not Chris Hemsworth Thor.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of weird things about that sequence. My biggest disappointment was I thought this was going to set up mutants in the MCU.
Yeah,
this does not set up mutants in the MCU. Everybody.
Yep.
So
waiting for that.
This is literally them destroying, like putting an end to the Fox universe and saying these two guys still exist in our world as a multiverse, but everybody else has been sent to the void.
Yeah.
So they can all fuck off.
They're all in the garbage chute. Yep.
The after credit sequence was great too, because like Chris Evans has his skin ripped off him.
Oh,
because Deadpool reveals all like the shit he was talking that we don't see.
Yep.
And then he's like, he goes back and sees it. It's a fun movie. It's well done. It gets a little over the top with some of the fight sequences, but it's I agree with you, like 7 or 8. Yeah.
I really liked it. It's a lot of fun. And the whole joke of like, there's only ever gonna be one blade. I was like,
that was great too. Yeah. And he just like kind of looks at the camera, like,
there's only one blade. There's only ever going to be one blade, and everybody's like, if it ever gets made.
The joke that they sent Deadpool after Cassandra, and like he was never seen again, was great too.
Yep.
Like them basically saying like, we wanted Ben to come back, but he said, "Fuck you."
Yep. Yeah. That. The joke. What the joke they say about Ben Affleck, they're like, "Oh yeah, where's Daredevil?" And Jennifer Garner's like, "Yeah, you don't need to worry about him," or like he's old news or something like that. That was pretty funny. It was overall a lot of fun. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, a lot of good. Just I think our expectations got too high for it.
Yeah. All right, everybody, we're jumping into the comic news. It's been a long fulfilling San Diego for comic lovers. We're going to go right into the Marvel stuff. Marvel announces a new Star Wars title. So this Marvel section is RIP to Chris's pull list. Star Wars title called Star Wars Ewoks. Oh, I saw the announcements, dude. Will be written by Steve Orlando with art by Alvaro. It's so funny when I get announcements, I see like comic shit, and I'm like, my reaction is like, oh yeah, Chris is getting that one.
Well, Chris needs a second job.
Look at this fucking cover too. This cover goes hard, man. I'm sorry. So we're talking about Star Wars Ewoks, series written by Steve Orlando, art by Alvaro Lopez and Laura Braga. The series will take place in the aftermath of Return of the Jedi, as the Ewoks must once again stand against a caravan of carnage to save their home. Fans can expect new insights into the Ewok culture, return of friendly faces like Wicket, and the introduction of all new Ewok heroes. A team of Imperial-led bounty hunters and scavengers arrive on the forest moon of Endor, searching for a secret cache of Imperial weaponry. Are they prepared to face off against the battle-ready Ewoks who took down so many of their ranks? Who is the mysterious new warrior Ewok returning to Bright Tree Village? And what is their connection to Wicket W. Warwick? Like I said, this cover goes fucking hard. For our listeners, it's a cover of a pissed off Ewok with 1 foot Captain Morgan style on top of a helmet of a stormtrooper. Like, I love it. This is amazing.
I'm so here for this.
Yeah.
Fuck yes, I love Ewoks. Wicked is the best.
This is like Rambo Ewok book is what this looks like.
Dude. It's all good. I'm so in for this.
Yeah, this looks pretty cool.
And this kind of sets up the next story, but like after Return of the Jedi stuff.
Yeah.
Ewoks being like one of my favorite aspects. If you ever watched How I Met Your Mother, the Ewok theory, I definitely fit in that. I saw these movies as a kid, and that's why I love Ewoks.
Yep.
Yeah, just all here for it. 100%.
Nice. Yeah, like Chris said, there's more Star Wars announcements. So we have Marvel has confirmed that the next phase of Star Wars comics will take place in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, which is really cool for me because I'm a huge fan of Return of the Jedi. The first series to be part of this new phase is called Star Wars: The Battle of Jakku, Insurgency Rising. It'll be a 4-issue series. Will be written by Alex Seguar and art by Leonard Kirk and Stefano Raphael. In the wake of Battle of Endor, can Luke, Leia, and Nessa New Republic stave off an unexpected and deadly new threat? A defiant Imperial takes center stage and goes on the offensive against the New Republic. Leia must make a startling discovery in the forest of Endor. Who are the mysterious and deadly acolytes of the Beyond, and what is the new villain's connection with Darth Vader? Yeah. This is cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some of the Jakku stuff, Battle of Jakku stuff in the novels, but they haven't dug super deep into it. So to go further into that battle, which obviously sets up a lot of what happens in Force Awakens,
right?
Seems to be a necessary thing to do with the next phase.
Yep.
And this being a weekly 4-issue title is going to be interesting because that's going to be that month is we get Ewoks in this.
Yep.
And then sometime next month, Mike, we'll be talking about what the full lineup of Star Wars comics is. But I'm here for all of it. I've really loved the Star Wars lineup at Marvel. Like, I don't think they put out really bad Star Wars comics. I think they've all been good to great.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's do it. Let's bring it on. We're almost at the end of the recent run, and I'm excited to see what's next.
Probably be a good jumping on point for someone like me that wanted to get back into them too. Be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, exactly, because you know exactly where you are at this point.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I think the one mistake they made with the Star Wars comics is that they didn't name them in a way that made it easy for newcomers when they reset, because they did Star Wars and they did Star Wars Darth Vader.
Yep.
And those have been the two constants. Now, obviously, we can't do a Star Wars Darth Vader book anymore, but when they reset them to one and said, now we're after Empire.
Yeah.
They named it Star Wars and Star Wars Darth Vader.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So even for me, when I'm like organizing them, like, because they're all kind of mixed right now and I'm trying to organize them and I have to look up by cover.
Oh, that sucks.
Which version it is. So
damn, that's annoying.
And I'm sure the trades aren't much better. I haven't looked into them.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully this creates a good jumping on point.
Marvel also announced that a phase 3 of the High Republic era is coming to an end with fall. A new ongoing comic series called Star Wars: The High Republic: Fear of the Jedi will lead us to the end. Written by Kevin Scott, art by Marika Cresta. The galaxy spinning finale of the High Republic begins here as fighting with Nihil Occlusion Zone intensifies. The Nihil Occlusion Zone intensifies. Jedi Master Keeve Trennis is set upon a path that will change her life forever. Guest starring the Acolyte's Wookiee Jedi Master Kel Naka, alongside fan favorite characters from Star Wars: The High Republic novels, audio dramas, and comics. So here we go. The final. That's a cool cover.
Yeah. It says Galaxy spinning finale.
Yeah.
Of the High Republic. They're just ending the High Republic?
Yeah, I guess High Republic's gonna be gone. Like, yeah.
Like, obviously, all this is taking place before Acolyte. So I'm guessing Acolyte is their end game.
Yeah.
Like, that's where they wanted to end up.
Probably, yeah.
So that's fine. Like, we've gotten a decent amount of High Republic stuff. And I kind of like the idea of, listen, the Skywalker Saga stuff is ongoing and we can tell stories forever on that. We did this High Republic thing and now it's over. And Acolyte's the end game for it. They announced a bunch of novels that are going to be Acolyte adjacent as well. So we can kind of still mine that a little bit. But then it's done. And then we wait a little bit and maybe we do Knights of the Old Republic. Maybe we do the Old Republic. Maybe we do something completely different from that.
Yeah, go even further back.
It's all interesting. I really like the High Republic stuff. I think as a whole, it's been a positive force for Star Wars. We obviously talked about the Acolyte earlier and how I didn't really care for that. But all the novels I've read are good. The comics have been really good. There's just a lot of good. So,
yeah, I'm interested to see maybe they just want to move on to another time era. Just get away from that.
I'm also wondering. So we're doing between Jedi and Force Awakens right now, and the main line we just talked about is Acolyte and like. Let me back up. Do they then go from High Republic to post Acolyte and try to connect Acolyte to Episode 1?
Oh, I don't know.
Is that the plan? Because we talked about like Darth Plagueis and all that stuff.
Yeah, so maybe, yeah.
So maybe that's the move. There's a lot of just cool things they could do. So I like the idea that like the High Republic had its time. These are the stories. Here you go. You don't have to worry about never catching up because now you have this set of things to read or watch, whatever. Yeah. Move on.
Yeah.
So it's cool. I'll be here for it. I've loved the High Republic. So
more Marvel announcements. Chris is on for every one of the Star Wars books, folks.
Yeah, I love Star Wars. I'm sorry.
More Marvel announcements. They announced relaunching Iron Man with a new #1, new creative team. Spencer Ackerman and artist Julius Ota will take over this title in October. It's a pretty awesome cover. Where's the... Oh, there it is. When the best of his own technology fails him, Tony will build a brand new armor unlike any scene and over his 60-year history, dubbed the improvised Iron Man. Okay. Fans will see it assembled throughout the series as Tony does what he does best, tinkering, upgrading, counter anything the world throws at him. The series will debut a new Ironmonger, complete with a mysterious power, new armor. Roxanne, AIM team up to take on Stark Unlimited, but they're ready for the old Tony Stark. This one, he's a lot angrier than he used to be. Iron Man is going to war, new armor, old enemies, and unbelievable twists abound in this fresh take on a fury-powered Iron Man. So he's pissed. So he's like a Hulk. He's an Iron Man Hulk. He's mad.
Edgy Iron Man.
Yeah, edgy Iron Man.
It is a cool suit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's like a steampunk Iron Man.
Yeah.
A lot of like clocks and widgets and shit.
Yeah. Tinkering. He's a tinker guy.
Yeah. I don't read Iron Man, so.
Oh, okay. I was nothing else. Yeah, I could.
No, it looks cool. Yeah. I mean, but
yeah,
I don't know if I don't know if like making Iron Man angry is really gonna pull me in.
Yeah.
I think maybe getting a A-list creative team would be what would pull me in.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Spencer Ackerman, I'm not familiar with his work, so maybe he is A-list. Yeah, I don't know yet, but Iron Man's never really been my bag. Every time I try it, I'm kind of just not into it.
This next thing I'm pretty interested in. Marvel and Viz Media are teaming up for a new manga series titled Ultraman, Along Came a Spider. This new series will be written by Shigenobu Matsumoto, with art by Tomo Hirokawa, and have our heroes team up to fight Doctor Doom, along with some cameos from other characters from the Marvel Universe. This series will be published on Viz Manga app alongside Marvel's Ultraman / Avengers. It will actually start the same day, August 13th. Yeah, so this is dope. I'm here for more Ultraman crossing over, and with Doctor Doom, Spider-Man I could take it or leave it, but facing Doctor Doom is pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird that like the manga creators are so pushed towards Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I feel like every Marvel thing we get is like Spider-Man.
maybe he's just
Spider-Man.
like really popular there or something.
I mean, he did have the TV show there, so
that could be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll read this. I'll read it when they collect it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I read my manga. That's how I've always read my. I'm not downloading some app. I just not that.
Yeah, when they collect
reader.
it is when I'll read it for sure.
But it's cool art, cool imagery. Love to see more manga collaborations between the big two.
Yeah. There's no surprise here, folks. Marvel confirmed that the events of Blood Hunt, the next big bad across the Marvel Universe, will be Doctor Doom, and that the event coming 2025 titled One World Under Doom. Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Doom. Chris is a huge fan. Having him be the big bad is pretty cool. So we'll see how.
Interesting art.
Yeah, everybody's like bowing to Doom.
And to have the Avengers, specifically Cap, right in the front, bowing to him is just interesting.
Yeah.
I guess spoilers for. Did you read Blood Hunt #4?
I don't think I have. No.
Okay. He makes a request to become the Sorcerer Supreme in order to help the world.
Oh, okay.
So that's obviously the events we're talking about. Other than that, like, we'll see what happens. Huh. My advice is just fight vampires. Don't make him the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, just fight the vampires. Just fight back. Yeah, interesting. No, that's cool. I think Doctor Doom is a great character. So
definitely. And this is obviously another last minute curve because the MCU has decided Doctor Doom's the one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's the one we're going with.
Yep.
Marvel announced a new limited series called TVA. The series will be written by Marvel Studios Loki writer Catherine Blair, Arthur Pierre Perez. The series will represent an evolution from Marvel's comics version of TVA, as it's blended with Marvel Cinematic Universe counterpart, as depicted in the Disney Plus series Loki and in Deadpool and Wolverine. The series will mark the Marvel Comics debut of various MCU characters, including breakout Loki star Miss Minutes, the mysterious all-knowing entity who keeps the TVA ticking like clockwork will recruit a new band of heroes charged with monitoring and regulating all realities and timelines. Join Ghost Spider and other universe-displaced entities, including Captain Carter, Heartbroken, Lemmy LeBou, and more as they're sent through the multiverse on vital missions to repair wild temporal anomalies and keep reality from shattering. I think that's a cool way to utilize the TVA. In a comic way, like, yeah, obviously add all the heroes that you can't add in the TV show, right? So
yeah, I think Mr. Minute here is pretty funny.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny to see that down there.
I'll check it out, but Ghost Spider is an immediate like red flag for me.
Yeah.
Just these extra spider people that are like Spider-Verse people, I just never really got into, and Ghost Spider in particular. But I do love Captain Carter.
Yeah.
And
is that
I guess a heartbroken Remy. No, that's Gambit.
Oh, it's Gambit. Okay.
Yeah, that's the heartbroken cool. Gambit.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'll check it out. It's 5-issue series. Why not?
Yeah.
TVA. Let's go.
Marvel confirmed that Deadpool ongoing series will continue after issue 6. We'll see the death of Deadpool. Deadpool's daughter, Ellie Camacho, will take over the mantle. All right. The weight has fallen, and his daughter Ellie has taken up the mantle. Taskmaster continues her mercenary training, but what she really wants is vengeance, and to get that, she'll need the princess's help. So if you're into Deadpool, you're reading it, now it's Deadpool's daughter, folks. So have fun. I didn't know he had a daughter, to be honest.
Neither did I. This Deadpool fans, correct me if I'm wrong. This feels like a character that isn't a mantle that you can pass along.
No.
So I don't think it's going to last very long.
Yeah. People like Deadpool for Deadpool, right?
Yeah. Like you can it's like Captain America. Like you can you can make someone else Captain America because he's a symbol, and you can like reimagine that mantle through another man or person's lens.
Yeah.
Like Deadpool's Deadpool. Like he's there to like crack witty jokes and like look at the reader and be like, hey, look at you.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know anybody that reads Deadpool, so I have no like gauge to see if this will work, but I don't see it working
like,
very long.
How it goes, yeah. But like you said, I think they should have just made they could have made another book called Little Deadpool or Deadpool, Daughter of Deadpool miniseries or something like that.
Maybe.
It would have been fine. But
I mean, I say all this, and we just watched a movie in which I guess we just did spoilers, so I shouldn't go into it. But we know that there's other Deadpools in the multiverse, and they've done it before in comics.
They've done
it
before,
so
yeah. So
maybe I'm way off on that one, but that's just my gut feeling when I think about Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
DC time, everybody.
There's some wild DC news.
Yeah.
Can I say real quick? We got through the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, Marvel.
And I love a lot of that. DC won the day.
Yeah, DC's got some crazy shit going on.
DC came fucking blasting.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
DC's got some crazy stuff. DC Comics announced a 12-issue series titled Batman and Robin Year One. The series will be written by Mark Waid and art by Chris Samney. That's already off to a crazy start. In Batman Robin Year One, while Bruce Wayne adjusts to realities of adopting an orphan, Dick Grayson, a mysterious new crime boss called the General, has come to Gotham to claim the city by disrupting and destroying other mobs. But what is the connection to Two-Face? Batman and his new sidekick Robin are out for answers. It'll take everything they have to navigate both sides of the relationship as father and son, dynamic duo with Dick Grayson's present and future hanging in the balance. Yeah, Mark Waid doing more legacy Batman shit. Let's go. I'm here for that.
Yeah.
Let this dude write anything. If someone was like, "Do you want a Batman Robin Year One?" I'd be like, "No," but they're like, "Well, Mark Waid's going to write it." I'd be like, "Yes." Okay.
I'm going to take it one step further. If you told me Batman Robin Year One, I'd be like, it depends.
Yeah.
Mark Waid's writing it. Maybe.
Yeah.
I trust Mark Waid, but still, I don't know. It's Batman and Dick Grayson, the Robin that I don't really care about. Okay. Yep. Oh, Chris Samney's doing the art. So
yeah, that too. Chris Samney's art is amazing.
I fucking love Chris Samney's art, man.
Yeah.
Chris Samney's the one that did that. This is the team that did that Daredevil run. Waid and Samney, which is like an iconic all-time Daredevil run. I recommend anybody read it. But also, with how Robin does acrobats and goes through the sky and everything, very similar to Daredevil.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the style is going to flow very similar. The only big difference is that book was very bright and daytime, where this is going to be obviously nighttime and darker.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm here for it 100%. Floppy physical edition. That's what I'm going with.
Yep. There you go. That's just the start of all these crazy DC announcements. So here we go.
That's the lowest rung.
That's the lowest happening with Mark Waid. DC announced what will fall with their Absolute Power event this fall. And it's called DC All In, everybody. Look at this shit. There will be a special one-shot issue that sets up the future of the DC universe, as well as set the stage for a long-rumored Absolute universe. What? With the announcement, we now know for certain the launch titles of the Absolute universe and their creative teams. So buckle up, buckaroos. So we're getting an Ultimates universe with DC, and this is the way you do it. Here we go.
So real quick before we jump into it, because that's been the comparison.
Yep.
Let's all remember, the Ultimates universe was supposed to replace the Marvel universe as a hard reboot. That was the original concept.
Yeah.
So they literally just redid Marvel stuff. I love the Ultimate Universe.
Right.
But they literally redid and then reimagined a few things. This is not an Ultimates universe. This is a straight reimagining of DC stuff in a parallel universe. So while I get the comparison, I don't think it's accurate.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, we see Wonder Woman with a giant Buster sword. I'm already sold. You need to know what the book's about. I'm reading it. I'll probably read all of these books. Okay. Absolute Batman, written by Scott Snyder with Nick Dragotta. So the rumors are true. Look at that fucking cover. Batman does not skip leg day. In this iteration, fans will be introduced to a version of the Dark Knight that doesn't have the money, mansion, or butler of his Coraline counterpart. Readers will quickly find out what makes this absolute version of Batman when the debut issue arrives at comic shops and digital retailers Wednesday, October 9th. So that's fairly soon, folks. I don't even need to know what the story's about. I'm fucking in. Scott Snyder back on Batman. Nick Dragotta's art. I like that design of Batman. I think it's really cool. Yeah.
I'm in on it. I still say Dragota's art is going to be the thing that maybe tears me off because I'm curious to see how he fits in with.
Yeah,
this is a cool image, but yeah, goddamn those legs.
Yeah, those.
And why
those
is his head so tiny?
Yeah, those are some thick legs and tiny head.
I like the idea of like lower class Batman.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
So this really set the stage for me to say like this isn't. That's why I say I don't feel this is an Ultimates thing. This is literally like, what if we like deconstruct the character and just bring like put him in a different scenario altogether?
Right. Yep.
So yeah, but yeah, 100% getting this.
Absolute Wonder Woman, written by Kelly Thompson, former guest of the show, folks, and art by Hayden Sherman. That is some fantastic art. For Diana, there's no island paradise, no sisterhood to shape her, nor a mission of peace. So what's the purpose of an Amazon warrior in a new universe? Interesting. It looks a lot darker. Like she's more of like akin to like war. I'm getting like a Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse vibe from this the like horse harpy thing she's riding. I think she looks badass.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, and like the Samoan style tattoo on her arm. I'm reading this. Kelly Thompson's an amazing writer. This is probably a great jumping on point for if you want to get into Wonder Woman stuff. I'm definitely checking this out.
I would really hope that all these are great jumping on points, Mike.
Oh yeah, well I just mean like for me, I always see Wonder Woman as like if I haven't been reading it recently, I don't know what the hell is going to be going on.
I get vibes that like this is going to be Wonder Woman raised by the gods.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that sounds dope to me. So
yeah, that's really cool.
Like you said, everything we've seen, like we got this cover looks phenomenal. Like you said earlier, like her with the Buster sword here.
Yeah.
Like, sick. Give me some Cloud Strife all up in this business.
Yeah.
100% I'm checking this book out. It looks awesome. I love the art. Let's do it. Yeah. Like, and this is another one.
Yeah.
Deconstruct the character. Take away Paradise Island. Take away all her sisters. Take away everything. All right. What's a Wonder Woman that's like angry and ready for war gonna do?
Mm-hmm. Looks sick. She looks pissed. Absolute Superman, written by Jason Aaron with art by Rafa Sandoval. First off, Rafa's art's amazing. So Jason Aaron, obviously great writer. The Superman has no family, no fortress of solitude, and no home. Will he stand for truth, justice, and a better tomorrow? Readers can find out with Absolute Superman 1 hits November 6th. Yeah. Again, deconstructing, like you said. Sandoval's art's amazing. You got a long hair Superman. Yeah, I'm here for that. Jason Aaron writing it.
Had me at Jason Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah, to close out the Trinity, it's just another like I will definitely be purchasing this, checking it out.
Mm-hmm.
I love this art. I wish we got more of a feel of what the book is.
Yeah,
I feel like that one thing's just like, you know, all that stuff we're doing with the other books. Yeah, we're doing it here too.
Yep, it's being done here.
Read it in November.
Yeah, yeah, and these next two coming up, I will say, I'm going to read them just because I'm going to read all these, but I think I'm reading them more because I mean they don't give us any details on these next couple, but just from the writers alone, I'll probably be checking these out. So you have Absolute Green Lantern, written by Al Ewing and art by Janoy Lindsay. They gave little details about this, other than say it's a reimagining of Green Lantern. It'll feature an all new female Green Lantern, which whatever, that's fine. I like Al Ewing as a writer. I want to know what's going on in the Absolute universe, so I'm probably going to check this one out.
This is the one that I will probably do a wait and see approach because I'm not a big Green Lantern guy to begin with.
Right.
I like John Stewart. Like that's where it kind of ends with me. And it's weird to me that this is the one they chose, like brand new character, completely reimagine everything. When the other four seem like, no, like let's deconstruct the character.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We didn't get enough to really know.
I'd be interested because like now that I see the picture of the Green Lantern, like if it's John Stewart's like younger sister that's dead.
They did some things where they said it was like a combination of all the Green Lanterns together, and it still involves a first contact story and all, but nothing like definitive. So that's why I didn't really add it.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's also just I'm not an Al Ewing fan.
Yeah.
So every time I try, and with the exception of Mortal Hulk, every time I try an Al Ewing book, I just don't really get into it. So,
but this last one, Absolute Flash, written by Jeff Lemire, art by Nick Robles. DC gave no details again. We don't know if it's Barry Allen or Wally West. It has red hair, so could be.
I'm guessing Wally. Yeah.
Wally. Yeah. But yeah, Jeff Lemire.
Yellow and red.
Yeah. Yep. Jeff Lemire writing the Flash, though. Let's go. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, you have Jeff Lemire on this one.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
We'll see more in the coming months on it, but
yeah.
Overall, I think the announcement of the Absolute Universe is a giant success.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I cannot wait for October to get my hands on these books. There will definitely be some finagling of my pull list here soon because it's gotta get trimmed.
There's a lot of shit going on, and now we're going to talk about some new creator lineups for DC for all the new books, all the ongoing books right now.
Yes.
Detective Comics will now be written by Tom Taylor with art by Michael Janin. So now I'll be reading Detective Comics.
So right there, Mike.
Yep.
You got me.
Yeah.
Tom Taylor. Let's go. Go ahead.
Michael Janin, sorry. Long ago, the murders of Thomas and Martha Wayne changed Gotham forever, but there's something you never knew about the Dark Knight's tragic origin, which has been lying wait to strike Batman ever since the fateful night in Crime Alley. Now, all these years later, the piece of Gotham's past begins to unravel itself. Okay.
So and now, you lost me.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So now we're going through an origin story, Chris. But
I don't need to dig deeper into, my parents are dead.
I know. I want Batman. Just be Batman.
That's a joke from another podcast, everybody.
Yep.
I just don't need to dig deeper into his origin story.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's Tom Taylor, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to be reading it for sure.
We'll see. But I'm really turned off by let's dig deeper into his tragic origin. No, let's not. Let's stop.
Nope. Nightwing now be written by Dan Waters and art by Dexter Soy. Not reading Nightwing, but that's if you're into that stuff, everybody.
Yeah. I got nothing on that. I don't like Nightwing, so
yeah.
But Dan Waters is a good writer.
Right.
He's been working hard. Good for him getting a major book. Let's do that.
Yeah, we'll do that one. Green Arrow will be returned to its legacy numbering for some reason, starting with 350 rewritten by Chris Condon with art by Montos. Not a big Green Arrow fan either, so
I gotta see more of what he's doing because I do like Green Arrow, but I didn't like the approach that Williamson was doing with he's stuck in the multiverse or outside the multiverse, and I liked Jeff. Speaking of Jeff Lemire's Green Arrow, where it's no, he's Batman with a bow and arrow.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah,
but
this one, Batman and Robin, will now be written by Philip Kennedy Johnson with art by Javier Fernandez. Oh boy!
I guess I'm buying Batman and Robin again.
I know. I'm going to be buying so many Batman books. I was never reading Batman and Robin in Detective Comics, but now
that was another one. Joshua Williamson was writing it, and I was on a Joshua Williamson high, so I was checking out everything he was doing.
Yep.
And I didn't dig it because it was Bruce and Damian on in a condo in Gotham. Living together, having a good time.
Weird.
Yeah, it was weird. I feel like Philip Kennedy Johnson's going to they no longer have the condo because we all read Batman 149. But I do feel like Philip Kennedy Johnson, because he's a superstar, is going to do something different with it. And I'm there for it.
Yeah, I'm going to be
this next one's interesting to me.
Yeah. Titans now being written by John Layman with art by Pete Woods. Crazy.
John Layman
hasn't done comics in a long time.
He hasn't done mainstream comics in a long time.
The 90s?
So John Layman, oh no, he's doing that Suicide Squad book you're reading.
Oh yeah, he is working on that. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. But he's done a lot of stuff I like. He did Chew. He did that book with Skybound for a little while that I'm zoning on the name of, but that was like that was a very big deal because something went wrong with the rights and like he made a fuss about it. But for him to be back for a main, like he's doing that Suicide Squad book that ties into the video game.
Yeah. Yep.
For him to do a mainline Titans book is big. Like, he hasn't been in mainstream comics in a long time, and I think he's a name that has faded. So we'll see. I'm not gonna read it, but we'll see.
No, I'm not a Titans fan, so
I'm a John Layman fan though. So like, I'm down to see him like try to get his name back out there.
Yeah, these next couple I probably won't be reading. You have Catwoman, be written by Tyrone Grunbeck, with art by Fabiana Mascolo. Catwoman.
Very Halle Berry-esque Catwoman there.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good.
Harley Quinn being written by Elliot Kalan with artists to be announced. Yep, that's Harley Quinn, everybody.
Yeah, we're going Looney Tunes on this one, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit. Action Comics will go weekly for the month of October with a new storyline from creative team Mark Waid and artist Clayton Henry. Okay. An otherworldly horror tearing its way through Metropolis has emerged from Phantom Zone. Something's wrong in the zone, something terrible, and Superman must enter alone to find out what. From the pages of Absolute Power and Batman Superman's World's Finest come a new action epic unlike any you've seen before. From the visionary creative team, Mark Waid and Clayton Henry, plus the Woman of Tomorrow is here today, Supergirl specials, Mariko Tamaki and Skylar Patridge return to bring Kara to the farthest reaches of space and pursue a mysterious threat only she can handle. So good for Skylar Patridge for, shout out to a former guest of the show for getting onto Supergirl. But yeah, I'm here for Mark Waid's Superman. So
yeah, I'm still reading Action.
Still reading Action.
I like that last issue. I don't know if we talked about it yet in the show, but anyways, I mean, Mark Waid doing Superman.
Yeah,
I know in the past, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it, but I know in the past I said, like, with JSA, I didn't want Jeff Johns to jump back on it because he's already had his say. Let's get new blood on it, blah, blah, blah. That opinion goes away with Mark Waid and Superman. Like, that dude can do anything Superman until the end of time, and I'm there.
Yeah, and I'll read it, yep.
Yeah, because his love for that character is just, I've never seen anybody love a character as much as he loves Superman. So I'm going to continue to read it. And it's cool that Mariko and Skylar are getting a second feature, Mike. Backup story.
On a Mark Waid book is pretty huge.
Yeah, so I'll check that out. Supergirl's fun.
Yep. And then finally, you have Superman written by Josh Williamson. Dan Mora will take over on the art. Love Dan Mora's art. Look at that! Holy crap! And it looks like we have Lois Lane there as with a suit on too. So yeah, we're big fans of Josh lately. So I can't wait for this.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Superman book. So
yeah,
I'll take Dan Mora's art wherever I can get it.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that he's cloned himself so that he can
do
draw
everything.
more books, and we'll talk more about that in a minute.
Yeah, because he's doing a lot. All right, let's get into the announcements, the fun stuff here. DC announced a Creature Commandos comic titled DC Horror Presents Creature Commandos. The series will be written by Polka Dot Man himself, David DeSmallchin, amazing, with art by Jesus Hervas. It was not revealed if the title is a miniseries ongoing or one shot and will launch in October. This is the Creature Unit, a team of misfits assembled by madly talented scientists for dangerous military mission in this brand new era of Creature Commandos, penned by Count Crowley creator David DeSmallchin from the Suicide Squad and Late Night with the Devil movies. The claws are out, fangs are bared, and blood is spilled. Lots of it. I like DeSmallchin's writing with Count Crowley. I think this is a great book for him. He likes horror stuff. I'm going to be checking it out.
I feel like this will be a 6-issue series. If you look at the DC Horrors Presents stuff, it's always 6 issues.
Yep.
Of course, they're going to do a Creature Commandos book. Like,
of course they are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. I think I'll check it out. But I am like kind of teetering because like we've talked about so many books here.
I know there's so many books coming, folks.
Like, this sounds cool. I'm excited. I also I have limited funds to buy comics because I don't get DC and Marvel stuff reviewed.
Yeah, there's a lot more to come.
So DC, so it's on my radar, but I'm interested.
Yeah, it's there. DC announced that spinning out of the events of DC's All In and Absolute Power will be the return of the Justice League. Oh, shit. The new ongoing series will be written by Mark Waid with art by Dan Mora entitled Justice League Unlimited. Let's go. The lineup for the version of this Justice League will include Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Martian Manhunter, Captain Atom, Black Lightning, Star Sapphire. Also will feature the return of the iconic Justice League base of operations in the Watchtower. Okay. Yep, let's go. Justice League Unlimited is here, baby. We all are huge fans of it. Look at those covers. We're going to the Watchtower. Mark Waid's writing it. Just fucking inject that into my veins. I cannot wait for this shit.
It's finally here. Like,
I know.
I don't know if you remember this, Mike. Remember that timeline a couple years ago?
Yeah.
And they said, and somebody said they found Justice League at the end of it.
Yep.
Here it is.
Kudos
to DC. It's been 2 years with no Justice League.
Yeah.
That was more restraint than I thought they had.
And Justice League Unlimited, this is huge.
To bring that name back means something. And I think, listen, I agree with you on the Star Sapphire part.
Yeah.
Obviously, Black Lightning is meant to replace John Stewart.
Yeah.
Because we all know what's happening with the Green Lanterns in the DC universe right now. They need to solve that. This is very reminiscent of the Justice League Unlimited cartoon team.
Oh, yeah.
And it's Mark Waid who was writing Justice League at the time that cartoon was coming out.
Yep.
Of course I'm here.
Yeah.
I want to know how Dan Mora draws with two hands, but apparently he can do it.
He does it. He's doing two at once, I guess.
I think, honestly, that Superman book, he's going to do like a 6-issue arc and then he's out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's obviously tied to the hip. I think Mark Waid has pictures of him in
somewhere
in appropriate positions. So now he has to draw for him forever.
He must have to draw art for him, whatever.
This is 100%. 100% I'm getting this.
Easy.
There's no way I'm not getting this.
This next book, DC announced a new ongoing Justice Society of America series. Oh, thank God. With writer Jeff Lemire and artist Diego Olategui. The team-ups will include Hawkgirl, Jake Eric Flash, Wildcat, Dr. Fat. I've had to read
Mike's getting tired, everybody.
I'm getting tired. I'm losing my voice.
He pulled a Joe Biden on me. Hey, fat.
I know. Yeah, I'm just losing my mind. Dr. Fate, Alan Scott, Green Lantern, Hawkman, and DC tease that the Infinity Incorporated team will play a major role in the story. The first issue this series set to release October, a month after Jeff Johns' JSA concludes. So, yeah. So now we're getting ongoing JSA. I got Dr. Midnight in there. Love that. This is great. We don't have, Jeff Johns in the mix fucking it all up. We're just going to have a book that we can read from Jeff Lemire.
That'll come out on time.
Yes, that exactly.
I added that little end thing at the end. The month after this concludes, because I don't think this book's coming out in October for that reason.
We'll see. We'll see, everybody.
I'm throwing it out there to all the JSA fans. Be prepared to wait.
Yep.
I'm really stoked for this book, man.
Oh yeah,
I love Jeff Lemire.
Yeah,
Jeff Lemire during the New 52, because I was
his Animal Man was so good,
dude. When I was putting away those books, cataloging them, and I'm going through and I'm like, fuck, Jeff. To all the New 52 haters out there, there was a lot of good shit.
There was
Jeff
a lot
Lemire's run in the New 52 was so fucking good, dude.
Yep, his Animal Man was amazing.
So yeah, I'm here for this. I like that Alan's got his gruffy beard going.
Yeah, I got the beard going. Yep.
It's about as manly as you can get. I love Wildcat, dude.
Yeah. Ted Cord, or not Ted Cord. I can't think of his name right now. The Wildcat. I know it's Ted, but I can't think of his last name.
I don't know. I just know I like him when he shows up.
Please.
The Wildcat.
The Wildcat.
DC Comics. Let's see.
Yeah.
Ted Grant. Okay, we got it there.
Yeah.
He's
just a joke. He's just a joke because he's literally just a boxer in his suit.
Yeah. He's Abraham Slam.
Slam.
That's why this gets me excited, is that Jeff Lemire's done a JSA book.
Yeah, he has
Black
done
Hammer.
It. Oh shit. Yeah, you're right. The Golden Age Heroes book. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Yes, I'm getting this. Yes.
This is even crazier, Chris. I gotta read so many DC books now. DC announced a new God series coming this winter from one of my favorite new. Look at that fucking cover. Favorite new DC writers. Well, not really new anymore, but Ram V is going to be writing with artist Kaggle. Little info was given about the series, but I don't need to know because Ram V is writing it, and that dude can write. This art is amazing too. Like. This is wild stuff.
I know you're a big New Gods fan.
Yeah, this is crazy.
I am always excited about a New Gods thing.
But you don't need to read. Yeah.
Always disappointed when I read it.
Yeah. I'll say Ram V and his Swamp Thing run, I'll read anything by that guy. That guy can write.
I still need to go back and read that.
Yeah, his Swamp Thing run's really good. So I don't think they would hand him this unless he had something that was good. And I mean, you got Metron in there. You have the Allfather. This is going to be some good shit.
So, dude, you were talking about that Ewoks cover going hard.
Yeah.
This is a cover that's going hard, man.
Yeah, because that's the source wall, I think, there.
Yeah.
So there's some shit going on. But yeah, this cover goes really hard.
I'll be really, really excited when they like drop what this book's about and everything.
Yeah.
Give us the whole scoop. Yeah.
I
will wait. I've always wanted to get into New Gods.
Yeah.
But DC hates its fans, so they don't print things. So I can't read the originals anymore, at least not without spending a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And B, like they just don't do them enough.
Yeah.
And when they do, I feel like they half-ass it. This does feel like they're not half-assing it. Like Ram V is a name. So
yeah, this is a big deal.
I'll be here to.
They're taking it
It'll
seriously.
be in my purview, Mike.
Okay. I'll be talking about it for sure because I'll be reading it. Previously, we discussed the New Universe Arcbound that Tom Hardy and Scott Snyder are collaborating on. Recently, it was announced that comics for the New Universe will be published by Dark Horse Comics. So there we go. You got Tom Hardy and Scott Snyder there with Frank Thierry art. Yeah.
Frank Thierry is another writer. Ryan Smallman is the artist. I mean, we talked a lot about this when it was announced. Yeah. I'm here for it, but good on Dark Horse. Like they've got some cool announcements this past couple weeks, and I am really happy to see them really picking it up. Like they've been a premier publisher for a long time. They've seen kind of a downslope after the whole Star Wars thing hit them. They've picked themselves back up, and we'll see more here in a minute.
We got some more exciting stuff from them. I can't wait to talk about. Black Hammer is back once again with a new series titled Black Hammer Spiral City. The series will be written by Jeff Lemire, art by Teddy Christensen. It's back again. Black Hammer Spiral City picks up after the end, following the second cataclysm, the rearranging of the universe. Many of its lost heroes have returned, but there's no homecoming parade as anti-superhero sentiment grows, fueled by recent events and stoked by Malcolm Gold, the former head of Trident, now running to become Spiral's new mayor. Making matters worse, Spiral Asylum has shut down, with many of its low-risk, mentally ill superhero inmates being set loose on the streets. With the reshaped Black Hammer universe as the backdrop, several new stories begin to unfold and intertwine, creating a rich portrait of some lesser-known inhabitants living in the fringes of Spiral City. You got more Black Hammer, Chris?
I was happy with the end of Black Hammer.
Yeah, I know. This is a lot. I'm not too crazy about the art either on that first one you showed.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This one's that's cover, though.
Yeah, is that a Mignola cover?
I think so. Yes. Yeah, that is a Mignola cover. Yeah, that's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna read it. It's Black Hammer. I've read everything Black Hammer.
Yeah, I know you are. Yeah.
But I was happy with the ending. Like, you ended it. You even called it the end.
I know it was called the end. Come on.
But I get it. Like, Jeff has worked a long time to create comics and done a really great job of it, and this thing has really hit. So I don't know. Keep doing it. Keep making your money. But I like the end.
Yeah, I like the end to be the end. Yeah, not the end.
I like this guy though.
Yeah,
I do like this guy. He's a cool dude. He's an interesting cat. So I'll be there for it.
Dark Horse announced another new book. It's a Borderlands comic titled Borderlands: Moxie's Mysterious Memento. It will be written by Amy Chu, art by Mike Norton, and Borderlands Moxie's mysterious memento. Former celebrity and current badass Siren Amara misses the fame and excitement of her glory days. Nowadays, common stooges don't know who they're messing with. They'll soon find out. In order to reclaim the highs of her former heroics, she needs a new gig. Luckily, Moxie needs help recovering a mysterious artifact. Yeah, more Borderland comics. I'm not a huge fan of this, so I won't be reading it, but that's cool.
Yeah, and I get how a lot of people feel about Borderlands, but for some reason I just have always connected with Borderlands.
Yeah.
And I really like it. So like it's crazy to me that this is the IP that's done it. Because like I do this a lot. I read a lot of Star Wars stuff, blah blah.
Yeah.
But I've read Borderlands novels.
Oh yeah.
I have all the Borderlands comics. I love Borderlands, dude.
That's
like
awesome.
There's a movie coming out in a few weeks.
Yeah, you got a movie coming out? Yeah. Nice.
I didn't tell you this, but we went to this theater, and I was hoping to get the Deadpool bucket, the popcorn bucket. Sold out in day one.
Yeah.
Whatever. I thought it'd be funny to have, but I go there and they've got Borderlands stuff, and so I now have the Borderlands movie mug. Like,
oh, that's cool.
So yeah, I love Borderlands, so I'll be here for this. It's nice. Moxie's a cool character, and just everything here sounds cool. So I'm in. Yeah.
Now I'm excited for this one. Dark Horse Comics and Wizards of the Coast announced the two are teaming up to create new comics set in the world of Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering. This is not the first time they've published comics with these IPs, but it's a bit of a homecoming for this. Yeah, I'm ready for some new Magic the Gathering stuff. They just had a set actually released this weekend called Bloomborough that revolves around like forest animals and like, you know, squirrels, Chris, and a lot of like animal wars, and they released like a whole like cinematic animated thing for it. So I'd be cool if they start telling stories within those like release sets they do within those universes. I love Magic the Gathering, and when I get Magic the Gathering comics, I love it even more. So
I did some digging, and the first ever Magic the Gathering comic book back in the 90s was published by Dark Horse Comics.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So that's why I say it's a homecoming.
Yeah.
I really like that Jed McKay run.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. With
Oni
the Planeswalkers.
Boom?
Yeah.
I think it was Boom.
Okay, or IDW, but no, it was Boom. It was
not IDW.
Yeah.
I know that
it was Boom. Yeah, it was Boom.
So I'm down to do Magic, like read more Magic the Gathering stuff. Just do me a favor, Dark Horse. Like, don't make it these random miniseries that.
Yeah. Right.
Like, make it so that I, as somebody who's somewhat of a novice in Magic, can jump in.
Right.
You can do it with Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I'm not going to read them, but B, like, I know enough about Dungeons and Dragons, I can jump into a cool book.
Yeah.
But Magic, I really liked that it was an ongoing. We had to cast characters we followed and all this.
Yep.
And I think Magic has cool lore and everything that we can do a lot more with. So,
yeah.
That's what I said. Like, Dark Horse is picking themselves back up, you know, and getting back into this industry a lot harder. Not that they fell to nothing, but like
they're grabbing more stuff up for sure.
Yeah, this is huge.
Oni Press announced a new series called Skin Police. The comic will be written by Jordan Thomas and art by Daniel Gete. The year 2142, fertility levels around the globe plummeted and a black market for illegal clone babies emerged. What the hell? Millions of parents use their own genetic material to welcome these new children, only realizing the horrific consequences far too late. At some point in their new life cycle, 3 in 4 of these genetic duplicates transform into psychologically unstable killing machines known as dupes. Fortunately, the United Nations of Europe has decided to take an active role in containing this growing threat. Their specialization force has taken up the unbelievable task of hunting dupes before their violence can spread. To the government, they're the duplicate identification and capture division. To everyone else, they're called skin police. The worst part of the job, it's always the one you least suspect. That's interesting premise. The art is really good. I'm getting like I can't think of his name right now, but Frank Whiteley and the other guy who did Batman vibes. But yeah. Interesting premise. I've definitely never read anything like that before. So
yeah, with that, I mean, it's Oni, so we'll probably get review copies. But
yeah, right.
I'd be down to check it out, but it seems a little too weird.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's a little too
It's a little out there, but
yeah.
I would just check it out. Jordan Thomas is a good writer.
Yeah.
So I've liked other stuff he's done. That good on Oni for doing some unique stuff. At least, like it's nice to see when Oni has. This is not a shot at Oni. I love you, Oni. It's nice when I get an email from Oni with review copies that isn't just like 20 Rick and Morty comics.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, they're gonna print what sells, but now they're venturing into some other stuff here.
Yeah. So when they do have some stuff that I'm interested in, it always perks me up on Friday when I get that email. So
yeah.
Boom Studios announced a new series called Vicarious. The title will be written by Ryan Perot, nice, and art by Eleonora Carlini. Justin is your average 20-something burnout. No real connections with anyone or prospects on his horizon. But after a dangerous encounter reveals itself fortuitous opportunity, Justin finds just what his life has been missing in the secret world of proxies. Young, attractive, ambitious hustlers like himself who allow the rich to access their feelings and experiences through a cutting-edge technological implant. Does Justin have what it takes to make it in this seductive new world? Not my cup of tea, but I'm sure some people will be checking this out.
Same.
Yeah.
That's a cool cover. Don't get me wrong.
The art's really cool, yeah.
But I don't see me enjoying it, so probably going to be a skip on my part. But good on Ryan Perot, who's fresh off of Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Which we don't talk about it in this episode, but Power Rangers getting rebooted. That's interesting.
That's cool. Yeah. Mad Cave stuff. Mad Cave Studios announced a new title called Murder Kingdom. This title will be written by Fred Van Lente with art by Chris Panda. Once upon a time in a strange land called Florida, a mass psycho starts murdering cast members of the Storybook Kingdom theme park in ways identical to the gory original Grimm fairy tales. Princess turned detective Tanith is the only person who can unmask the killer before she and her friends are all dying unhappily never after. This sounds like a lot of fun. I'll probably check this one out.
I'm here for this one, man.
This sounds hilarious.
Yeah.
Dying happily never after.
Dude, it's one of those things where I read the email for it and I'm like, why did I never think of this?
Yeah.
Like someone goes to Disneyland, just starts doing the Grimm fairy tale stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's so obvious.
I know.
But
it's so funny.
Yeah, it's so obvious that I never thought of it. So
yeah.
It's great. I'm down for this, and the covers look cool. The first cover is obviously my favorite, but this one here, that's just a really cool version.
That's a really cool one. Yeah.
But good on Mad Cave. Got some cool stuff.
Yeah. They also have some more stuff. Mad Cave Studios announced a new publishing line called Amazing Comics. This line is being done in collaboration with Dupuis to create an international publishing line that sets to create comics from around the world. Heading to this new line will be another former Marvel writer, artist, and editor, Joe Quesada. Wow. Okay, then.
Huge.
Yeah. Huge. That is crazy. So Quesada's got his own side publishing line, basically. Yeah.
We've talked over the years. I've tried to bring in creators outside the U.S.
Yeah.
And obviously it's tougher because there's barriers and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's Top Shelf. Top Shelf does a good job of this.
Yeah,
they bring in writers from Mexico and from Brazil and translate them for us. We've talked to people from England and across Europe.
Yeah. Yep.
Like there's good comics out there that we don't know about because there's a barrier called the ocean.
Yeah, there's a big water there.
And for some reason in today's day and age, that's still an issue.
Yep.
So good on Mad Cave. They've grown in all the right ways over the years. We never talk about it, but like I get emails about their kids line and their YA line, and dude, they're doing crazy numbers, man.
Yeah,
crazy.
That's awesome.
So I gotta believe they know what they're doing here. So, and I love Joe Quesada, man. He's the architect of like the best years of my Marvel reading.
Oh yeah.
So I'll root for that man till the end of time. I think this is really cool, and I'm excited for it. I'll be interested to see who they end up talking to. I just actually bought some. If you remember the guys from Time Bomb Comics, I bought some of their books recently and read them. It's fun stuff. Not stuff I think I'd read all the time, but like I could see stuff like that going through this. I could see top shelf like stuff going through this. I can see a lot of stuff going through this. So
yeah, it's exciting stuff, and for him to be involved. Yeah. Magma Comics is teaming up with Scrappy Heart Productions for a new comic titled Day of the Dead Girl. This comic will be written by AJ Mendez and Amy Garcia with art by Belen Culebras. Death is never the end of the story. Coroner Sam Castillo will learn this the hard way when a supernatural serial killer targets her hometown just as she moves back. A skeptical woman of science, Sam butts heads with her spiritual mother, Anna, a leader of witch coven specializing in brujeria. But when the coven's brujas start turning up murdered, Sam and Anna must work together to find the killer and their own town's Day of the Dead festival from turning into an occult bloodbath. As if sharing a bathroom with her mom wasn't hard enough. I mean, we'll probably be able to read this one for free, but I don't know if I'll be checking it out.
It doesn't sound like my cup of tea.
No.
But I like that first cover.
Yeah.
Because when we say Day of the Dead Girl,
yeah,
everybody, it's literally like think Day of the Dead. The is it Mexican celebration or Spanish celebration?
Yeah,
Mexican?
Mexico. Yeah, Mexico. Yeah.
So think of that. It's a cool cover, but it's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah. More Magma stuff. Magma Comics announced a new horror comic titled Night of the Slashers. The series will be written by Kevin Scott. All right, Star Wars writer, with art by Paul Fry. Hill Creek is a lovely place to visit, except the one night of the year the citizens transform into bloodthirsty maniacs. Of course, that's the very night Laura's bus breaks down, stranding the disillusioned teen and her classmates in secluded town. Secrets uncovered, terror at every turn. Will anyone survive the night? That's a really cool cover. I like the VHS set. It sounds like a fun book.
Yeah, that fits the whole horror theme. I know you horror people love your VHSs for some reason.
Oh, hell yeah.
I thought immediately this was a Mike book. Like it sounded.
Yeah. No, it sounds like something I'm read. I'm gonna check this one out for sure.
I'm interested because we've talked about this with Magma. Kevin's known for a very particular thing.
Yeah,
it's not this.
It's not. So, yeah, definitely not this. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I like Kevin, but we'll see. It'll depend on what people say about it for me because I'm just not much of a horror guy, especially slasher stuff. So
yeah, right. One more Magma thing announced a new series titled Rome Eternal from writer Romero Rios and artist Diego Yapur. The art is amazing. In a world where the Roman Empire never fell and now stands on the brink of collapse for over 2,000 years, Roman society has thrived, evolving into a technological and military powerhouse. Yet his immense power has bred corruption, making it vulnerable to a group of unique and fanatical individuals known as Mithra Mysteries. To some, they are terrorists. To others, they are heroes. As their enigmatic leader reveals his bold plan to assassinate the emperor, no one within Rome is safe. Yeah, this is crazy. This is like a what-if story if Rome never fell. And there's these sci-fi apocalyptic-looking Roman beings. So I don't know. It looks dope.
They basically turn themselves into gods. It looks
it's pretty awesome.
I'm here for it. I am a guy, so I'm obsessed with Rome, as the internet has told me. But
Yep.
No, that joke aside, it is funny because like that joke is kind of true. I was thinking about it recently.
Yeah.
Because did you know that Pedro Pascal is doing Gladiator 2?
Yeah, I saw the trailer and I was like, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm down for Gladiator 2, to be honest with you.
And Denzel Washington's in it. I'm very confused about that movie.
And then there's some show on Peacock that's like a Roman gladiator thing.
Oh,
I'm like, why is this attractive to me?
Yeah. They saw that men think about it all the time.
So. Yeah, so apparently I do think about it all the time. I've just kind of suppressed it over the years.
Yeah.
But this book looks really cool. Yeah, I'm so down. That dude, you had me at this cover right here.
Yeah, that's a really cool cover.
Anybody out there's listening to this, go look at the Rome Eternal cover A and tell me that's not. I mean, A, it's just a great cover, but tell me it doesn't get good. Like, yeah, it's really cool. I'm down here. I'm here for it.
Love the colors.
I'm down for it.
Then we got Dynamite.
Next news.
Yeah, Dynamite Comics announced that they're making a new Terminator comic series from writer Declan Shalvey and artist Luke Sparrow. Oh yeah, this series will be appropriate titled The Terminator and be an anthology-style comic series. The plans to kill Sarah Connor and her son, future Resistance leader John Connor, have failed, but it isn't going to stop the genocidal Skynet. if at first you don't succeed, it's going to expand the theater of operations. There will still be a few more avenues in the past to try that allow it to eliminate the human resistance before it starts. Skynet and Terminator are determined to stamp out these pivotal figures in history before they lead to their processors being smashed into silicone shrapnel. Let's go. Chris and I talked about getting into the Terminator when they reprint all the hardcovers. To have a new book is pretty sick. The art looks really good.
Yeah, it's like I really want to check out those reprints of Dynamite's doing.
Yep.
This I'm here for. Like I don't know what it is the past like year or so. Like I've had a resurgence of just loving Terminator. Like I've always liked those movies, but there's just something that's really clicked. Which, by the way, do you know that Netflix has a Terminator anime coming out?
Oh shit, I did not know that.
Yeah, that's a thing that's happening.
Oh, man. I need to check that out.
So it being like the 40th anniversary is weird because like that's older than me.
Yeah.
And I'm just really excited to get a Terminator book and check it out and see what's going on here because fuck yeah, Terminator. Let's do it.
It's awesome. It looks really good. And like an anthology series would be pretty cool too.
It's a cool idea because you could. Yeah. I'm hoping that it means that each issue is a one and done story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'd like because it's so we don't need long dragged out stories about Terminator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it, folks. That's it for the news, folks. We got through it. And we usually talk about the books we read this week. I'm going to just talk about. I did read a lot, so. The stuff I just want to touch on really quick. I think you talked about TMNT #1 with Jason Aaron, Joel Jones.
Loved it. Yeah.
I really liked it. I thought it was great. I'm in for it. Not a book I would normally read, but like the whole Raphael being locked up and stuff was kind of interesting. So I'm in it for that. And then I wanted to talk about something I wanted to read for a long time that's on Hoopla with my library. So I figured, what the hell? I read over the last couple of weeks 5 volumes of Berserk manga.
Oh, I love Berserk.
Dude, I never read it before, but like now I understand like where Dark Souls gets a lot of its inspiration from. Mm-hmm. It's like Dark Souls, Evil Dead, and like Middle Ages shit all mixed into one. I love it. It's one of my favorite new mangas that I've read. The art is amazing. So I'm like 5 or 6 volumes in right now, and I'm probably going to read through the whole series. I love it.
That's one I haven't talked about much, but when I got into anime, it was Dragon Ball Z, and we talked about Dragon Ball Z a billion times.
Yep.
One of the first mangas I read was Berserk.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I love it. And actually, you can see you talk about all those influences. For me, it was the Final Fantasy VII influences that come from.
Oh yeah, the giant sword.
Yeah, the giant sword, how he battles, like a lot of that comes from it too.
Yep. No, it's really cool. So that's all I'll touch on this week. I'll talk more about my other books next week.
I'll just talk about a couple, some that I did reviews for, and some that I just really want to like talk about real quick. Dick Tracy #3 is coming out this week. It either already came out or it's coming out, but it's really good.
Cool.
And I really liked it. And I think Dick Tracy is becoming like one of my favorite comics, which is a weird thing to say.
That is a weird thing to say out loud.
Man's Best #5, which has already come out. So it's the conclusion of the story. I think the only problem with it is that I think they saw good numbers and now they're going to do another series.
Yeah.
Because there was a tacked on kind of post log that sets up the next series.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very obvious to me that he had an ending that he kind of shifted from at the last second. And I thought the ending was really good. And to kind of like left turn it at the last second to do a sequel, it was a decision. I'll say that. I'll be there for the sequel, don't get me wrong. But I think you had a chance here. And once again, I understand, like, maybe you saw it got popular and you want to make money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for that. Biker Mice from Mars #1 came out. If you have zero nostalgia for Biker Mice from Mars, don't pick this book up. It literally just kind of goes along the tracks of what the cartoon was and tells a new story in that world. And I get it,
Yeah.
But I was hoping for something else.
Yeah, it's not going to get any new readers in.
Yeah. So I have nostalgia for it, so I will keep reading it, but I don't think anyone that's like never heard of this IP is going to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't do enough to introduce people to it. It really is dependent on people our age that remember that cartoon.
Yeah.
So Nemesis Rogues Gallery #1 came out.
Yeah, I read that. Yep, it was good.
Okay. Yeah. I really liked it. It's a huge setup, and it's Nemesis getting his Robin. Like,
yeah,
that's basically what's going on here.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Raja.
I like that Robin. He's still a threat, even though he's paralyzed. How he no longer becomes paralyzed is interesting. All that.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, Millar still has it. And then just the last one I'll talk about is Dark Knights of Steel Allwinter.
Yeah, it was good.
Did you read that?
Yeah, I read that. Yep.
The first story is good. It's all like Viking themed. It's got Deadshot in it.
Deathstroke.
I mean.
Yeah.
A lot of cool stuff going on. Vandal Savage is there.
That was pretty awesome.
Absolutely loved it. The backup story is by Tom Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
After the last volume.
Yep.
And this is all after the last volume, but this in particular. Yeah. No, this was before a prequel last volume.
Yes.
But it's all about Atlantis. And who is running Atlantis is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really liked it. So I just wanted to, real quick, I thought it was a really cool book.
I love that series.
But yeah, Mike, that was everything I read. Well, that's everything we're going to talk about that I read this week.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about what we read next week.
Yep.
This has been a media episode. So, Mike, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Fortress Ricker on Twitter. Where can they find you and or the show?
Find me at Fortress Chris on X, Twitter, and any other social media network. And also at chriscomicscorner.substack.com. Find the show at fortresscomics_ on X or Twitter. And also at fortresscomicnews.com. If you want a sports show, 5-star reviews, like, subscribe, share, comment down below on YouTube and patreon.com/fortresscomics. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us for the San Diego Comic-Con edition of the Fortress Comic News. And we'll see y'all here next week.